Good morning and welcome. We're looking at how we can put together the AP Picture Lab project or photo project and how we can add that to Eclipse and get started with it. You can either get this on the AP website in the student section for the AP Computer Science A-Test, or because if you're in my class, it's right there in my Canvas page as well, so you can get it from that. And that gets us photo.zip. Inside photo.zip, we have a lovely structure of folders right here. We have PixLab folder and the classes and images folder. These, of course, have stuff inside them. We'll go ahead and work with that in just a minute. But we're going to go ahead and put that inside our Eclipse project to make sure we can use that and work with it. So all we have to do is go over here inside Eclipse. We open up Eclipse, of course, already. We're going to make a brand new project, and we'll make a new Java project inside that. And we're going to give this amazing name of Picture Project because that's what it's doing. Okay, so Picture Project, default location, standard stuff for the execution environment, all that, no big deal. Hit Finish. Once you have your picture project, you want to go ahead and click on the triangle on that so you have it open. As you can see, we have that source folder. The source folder is where we're going to put all of our code and components for that. And to do so, all I need to do is just go over back to my Finder window or Explorer if I'm using a Windows box. I drag that PixLab folder. I'm going to drag it directly into the source folder just like this. And when I choose that, I'm going to import it. I want to choose copy files and folders. The copying it because I want to get a brand new copy of it in there so I can actually work with it inside my Eclipse project. This is, of course, inside my workspace, and I'll take care of all that from there. And I just choose OK. And inside my source folder, I click on that now. As you can see, I have a package, pixlab.classes. That's where all the code is. If I double click on this and open it up, you can see I've got all the classes that go along with this. Now, this is the structure for it. We'll go over it in detail in just a minute. We're going to collapse that out of the way. The next two folders, pixlabclasses.doc and .resources, contain all the HTML files for the Java doc documentation for this project. So if I go to the .doc folder right here, and I click the triangle right here, and you can go find the index.html because it's the one that starts all root HTML files. I can use that to find all the appropriate API documentation so I can go through and look at how to work with and use all this cool project stuff that Barbara Erickson and her team have created and we have been able to use. Great stuff. Definitely recommend taking a look through this and examining it. We'll close that out because we don't need to worry about it right now. The other thing I want to make sure you take a look at is the pixlab.images folder. This images folder is where all the default images that we're working with are stored, and you can easily just add to this right here. As you can see right here, all those are in there are just JPEG files. However, PNGs are also supported. You can use GIF, but PNGs are better, so let's use that. And to make things easy, make sure you don't put spaces in the file name so you're easy to find it. Make sure you name things what they're storing to make it so it's really easy to work with. And so you have some ones right here. So if I click on Caterpillar, I've got a cute cartoon caterpillar. We have Gorge is a lovely gorge image right here, and you can see what we're going to be working with. These are the pictures that go into the project. And to work with it, all we have to do is we look inside the files that are inside here. So as you can see, we have a whole bunch of files inside the pixlab.classes folder or the pixlab.classes package, whichever structure you want to use to remember how we're working with this. Most of these files right here all have a main inside them. Almost everything in here has a main you can run, but the ones we're going to look at the most are what we're actually working with. So the one we're going to be doing the most work with is the Picture and PictureTester.java. That's where the main work happens inside the project. However, the logic and the structure happen inside Pixel and SimplePicture.java and DigitalPicture.java. We'll be working with those as we go through that, and this is a great thing to review and go along with the reading and understand it, but that's where we're going from there. So if we go to Picture.java, we open that one up. As you can see, Picture.java, Barbara Erickson is the author of this, amazing computer scientist and great human being in general. But we've got that right there so we can go ahead and use this. And you can see right here, we've got some constructors, as some information you can talk about inheritance and go with as well. I'm going to collapse all the code out of the way though so we can see what's inside here. And inside the Picture.java, we have our constructors. And then we have the methods that exist by default inside Picture.java that we can use to start working with this. And so the ones we want to start looking at specifically is the zeroBlue. So we can see how we can work with this. And so we'll expand that out right here. And so what it does is it's using the idea of a 2D array of pixel objects. And a pixel is an information piece that has information about the picture it's in and its XY coordinate inside that picture or row column coordinate, as well as the color that's attached to it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use an enhanced for loop to use a nested set of those to first get the row of pixels and then get each pixel out of that row and set each of its values to 0 for its blue value. So we're going to take all the blue out of the picture. We can test this out really easy by looking inside right here. Like I said, almost everything has a main inside it. And this one, it says it takes the beach picture. I'll take beach.jpg, load it into the beach. Then I'm going to call the Explorer. Explorer allows us to actually look at a picture, get information about it. And then we'll modify that picture by saying beach.zeroBlue and then relook at it with another call to the Explorer. So let's go ahead and take a look at that right now and see what happens when I run picture.java. Right here we can see we have the two Explorer windows that have popped up. We have our first Explorer window right here, the actual beach image. The Explorer window, as you can see, tells us about the row, the column, and the RGB value with an actual example of that, so we can see what's at each individual cell inside that picture. And so if I click anywhere on here, you can see that color adjusts appropriately, as do the row and column values. So wherever I click on that, I can even use this left and right arrow to go right here, go up and down the columns. You can even see the cute little cursor adjust right there as well. So it goes down when I press the right, and it goes left when or up when I press the back. And so we have that, so we can use that information going along with that, and that gives us information about the picture. We can see what happens when we take the blue out of the picture. So my 159, 415, I have 169, 206, 225 right here. I have 169 the same, 206, but now my blue is 0. I've taken out all of the blue, which gives us this cool green color, which is definitely not what I'd expect if I were working with paint. But when we're working with light, remember we have RGB values instead of red, yellow, and blue values. So it's just a nice little thing to remember. And so we can see what happens with that. And so that's where Picture.java allows us to just do a quick demo using beach.jpg. But we've got one more better thing we can look at. So if I go over to PictureTester.java, and PictureTester is what allows me to test lots of different things. And so I have my test zeroBlue method is the first one right there. So it has the same exact code we saw in the main method earlier, where it says a picture beach is a new picture, and it loads the Explorer, zeroBlue, and Explorer again. But then inside my main method down here, I also have the ability to test zeroBlue and test mirrorVertical, and a whole bunch of commented out methods that I can use and run to learn and explore how 2D arrays work and how I can work with images and stuff using code. Great examples, lots of fun stuff. Definitely work with this and do some fun things with it. But because it's a static method, of course, it's a static call in here. So these are all static methods inside this because it's all called from main. We're not making instances of anything in that. And so we have right here inside my new picture, it's beach.jpg, and that automatically refers to this folder right here of the pixlad.images. You can change that and work with that by working inside this, and you can see how Picture.java and in File Chooser are able to load picture information with that, and that's a great thing to do some more with that. But that's how you can actually get to and work with this to get started. And so if I change that picture instead of beach.jpg right here, if I change it to butterfly1 instead, so again, you want to make sure the casing matters, so make sure you type that appropriately. It's inside a string parameter, and I just hit play right here and say OK. And it's going to bring up 4 windows this time, because it's also going to run, as we saw, as you can see inside the main, it also calls the test zeroBlue as well as the test mirrorVertical. So we have this cute little caterpillar with a mirrored vertical structure where I have a 2-headed caterpillar. A bit of a problem for reality, but great for looking at cute pictures. And then we have our butterfly, and we have our regular butterfly. So the zeroBlue has an amazing effect on that butterfly. We see a really cool yellow effect on this. And so it's amazing what we can do by looking at how the color filters on this and how we can do some cool bits of science and computer science by using color evaluation and what color theory can do some fun stuff. So learn how to try some stuff with this, do some great examples, have a lot of fun, but that's how you can add that to the project. Again, you just make a brand new project in Eclipse, drag the pixlab folder over, which has the .classes subfolder and the .images subfolder as well. You drag them into the project, you run inside there, inside Picture.java has a main that automatically can start up with using Explore on a picture of a beach and taking the zeroBlue, or PictureTester, it does the same thing and also does the mirroring for vertical on that, so you can do some quick stuff with that. But there's a whole bunch of great things to do. Lots of fun stuff. Negate's pretty cool. Fixing underwater, you can actually learn how to solve some information by changing the color values on that. And then my favorite, you can do chroma key and encoding information. Steganography is a really fun project. You can learn how to hide information inside a picture. Really cool stuff to do. Take a look at that, see how to do some fun stuff with that, and have a great day. Thanks again, and have a great time doing computer science. Enjoy. Cheers.